What's up, guys? On the Fly's back again, and look who we got back with us today. If it isn't Miss Limbo herself, Miss Noelle Toland is back with us. And tonight, we talked about this a little bit on the last episode because we were both such big fans of Trisha Yearwood.
Mm.
And it was a couple of days later, I was just telling a while ago, before we went on there, I said, you know what? We talked about it. I said, forget it. I said, I'm going to message her and I'm gonna see if she wants to do a top 10 Trisha Yearwood list. And thankfully, she was like, yes, and it was in caps. Yes, definitely. So tonight, me and Miss Noel will be doing our top 10 Trisha Yearwood songs, our favorite songs. Now, this is not what we call best songs, but our favorite songs. So your list may be different than ours, but look, let's get right to our guest. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm
It's
so
been a while. It's been a while since so you and like I said before, I was telling her before, she is one of the only uh guests to be on multiple times now, and we're gonna start like the Saturday Night Live Five Timers Club. So she's got three more times she's got to be on here before she goes in the On the Fly Hall of Fame and the Five Timer Club. But how are things going? I mean, Limbo. I'll tell you this. I checked. Somebody was checking their stats like on Spotify the other
Mhm.
day, and I got curious, and I'm on Apple, and I got curious looking on uh on Apple to see what my stats were so far. Limbo was number two on my songs played.
Oh, thank you
Yeah,
so
yeah,
much.
yeah. So Limbo, I hadn't listened to it in a while because I was just like, but I know I listened to it a lot before we did the interview and after. So
Well,
great
I'm
song. How is things going with Limbo?
so grateful for you listening. That made my
Thanks a
day.
lot. You're welcome.
Yeah, it's been great. The video came out and the response has been amazing. People really are resonating with the message
Oh
because
yeah.
no one. I mean, name me a person that likes being in limbo.
Exactly. And tell me one person that hasn't been through that before.
I know.
Everybody can that I mean, that's like I'm talking about the songs you can relate to
Mhm.
being in limbo sometimes. And yeah, everybody when you hear that go through, like the first time I heard it, I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
so glad I get good reaction. And I'm not surprised to hear it. It's a great song. You do a
thank
great job with it.
thank you so much. Appreciate that.
So tonight, like we said,
Mhm.
one of our favorite artists, Trisha Yearwood, and I mean,
Mhm.
how can you not like Trisha? If you're a country music fan, there's no way. There's I don't know how hard it was for you on this list, but because I don't, you go through her like her all her albums, listen to the songs. There's not a bad Trisha Yearwood song out there.
Mm-mm.
Nowhere could I find one. I went looking. I was like, this has got to be a bad. Nope. On every album, it was like, no, it's not a bad song. But
Yeah.
there's 10 on my list that stand out from the rest. And we were talking a little bit. My number one's pretty solid. And
Mhm.
but 2 through 10, I could flip flop, and I have flip flopped because I always do that before, like leading up to the show. I always do like, okay, this one needs to go here. I don't feel right putting this here, but
Mhm.
it yeah, and David Richmond, you're exactly right. One of the best country singers ever. That voice, from the first time I heard it, and I just got back to listen to country music. Garth Brooks got me
Mhm.
started, and hearing one of her songs, and I was like, got to go get it. When I bought the CD, Hearts and Armor, that was my
Mhm.
first Trisha Yearwood CD, and the rest. Oh yeah, she's Hall of Fame worthy, no doubt about it. There's
Oh,
no doubt about that. Uh, how did you remember the first time you heard Trisha Yearwood?
yeah, I was a child and I was in the
Oh yeah,
car.
I'm old. I'm old.
Yeah. I was in the car. I don't remember the specific moment, but I have so many memories of being in the car and singing along to She's in Love with the Boy, X's
Hmm.
and O's, and going like, I'm an American girl. I just identified with the song. And I was like, that's me. I've got ribbons and I just love, and I loved her voice.
Oh
There's
yeah.
just God bless her with some pipes that are unmatched, and she just has this way of telling a story with her amazing voice. That's just, I mean, I've never listened to a singer like her, and when I was little, I would think, oh my gosh, maybe that's something I want to do one day. I don't know if could ever do that, but it became a dream of mine to like sing Trisha Yearwood around the house and run
Oh
around.
yeah.
Kind of like I was telling you last time about.
Yeah.
And I was like,
singing with the dog. If the dog doesn't like it, then you know it just wasn't meant to be.
Exactly. But I grew up listening to her on the radio in the car, and I love her.
She just had an incredible stretch, and it's still to this day. I mean, she doesn't put out as much as she used to, but still to this day puts out such great music. And I'm assuming this is Chris Bevins, because it's just coming up Facebook user, but he said, I'm glad Noelle's back on, fan of her music. By the way, I sure hope at least one of y'all has the woman before me on the list. You'll have to wait and see. But, I can't promise anything on that one.
Oh, hi, Chris.
Yeah, so you definitely got your fans around here on the fly. But, David Richmond said everyone in the class of '89 needs to be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, I think so. I mean, that was the resurgence of country music for me when I got back into country music when all that started. Oh, Matthew Bazemore. That's not Chris Bevan. It was Matthew Bazemore. That's my co-host on the sports podcast.
Oh, hi, Matthew.
I know you're glad. Yeah, and Chris has come up now and said he's a Trish fan. He says hi to Noelle. So everybody's Tiffany O'Donnell. I don't know her, but she's new to the group. She's forever my favorite singer. You're right. She's never recorded a bad song. She doesn't just record amazing music. She touches hearts with her amazing ability to tell a story. That's the big thing there.
Yeah.
And we talked about this last time. The way I'm looking when I hear a song, I'm listening to the lyrics to tell a story. Just like you do in with Limbo. I mean, that, like we said, that situation, everybody's been in that situation, and nobody likes it, but everybody's been in that situation. So hopefully we'll have more stories from Noelle coming soon. So, all right. So let's get right into it. And you're the guest, so we're going to let you go first.
Okay.
We'll start with your number 10.
I've got my little list. Okay. So my first one, number 10, you might not have heard of it because I don't think it was a single. But it's called Who Invented the Wheel? And it was on her 2006 Jasper County album.
Great album.
It is so fun. That's the first song on the album. And it's just like, whoa. It's very bluegrassy in a way. And just she does this with the gravel in her throat. And it's kind of similar to Wrong Side of Memphis in that vein.
That's a great song.
Yeah. But I found on my list, a lot of these are on the same record.
I do too. Don't worry, I do too. It's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I have not. If I heard it, I don't remember it. But we're gonna write our list down.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna post both our lists on the social media, on Twitter and everything. We're gonna see who's list, and I'm sure with all your fans out there, they're gonna vote for you, of course. But we're gonna see who's got the best list up here. I'm interested to see what's left on your list. Like, who invented the wheel?
It's hard. I was listening to all her, as much music as I could leading up to this. I just honestly today I was like, God, her voice. I just was every time I listen to it, it just brings you. It's so grounding and full of color and emotion, and it's. I just love her.
Her voice is we talk about having distinctive voices, and Trisha Yearwood has a distinctive voice. When you hear it from the second she opens her mouth, that's Trisha Yearwood. It's nobody else that sounds like her. Matthew says, I'm voting for Noelle 2023. So keep it up, big boy. You're putting it on hard tonight, buddy. Okay.
Okay, what's yours?
My number 10, and this is not off a Trisha album. It's a
Okay.
collaboration. Uh,
I think I know,
you think you know?
but
It's
I'm not.
off. It's off Rhythm Country and Blues.
Okay.
They did a album. It had to be back in the '90s where they put like a R&B artist together with a country artist, and they would sing old songs. She did with Aaron Neville. I Fall to
Mm.
Pieces. Patsy Cline's I Fall to Pieces. Have you heard it?
Yeah, but so long ago, and I need to
Oh
listen to
my
it again.
gosh. I told you last time I'm a sucker for harmonies.
Mm-hmm.
When they get to the chorus and they slow down, it's not the sped up Patsy Cline, they slowed it down. But when they get to the chorus and her and Aaron are doing harmonies, oh
Mm.
my gosh, it is incredible. Yeah, I Fall to Pieces. It's on my playlist and will be there forever. But two great artists come together on that, and epic song. I love I Fall to Pieces. Their version of I Fall to Pieces.
I'm gonna have to listen to that.
Yeah.
I love
Oh,
that song, first of all. Second of all, with two of the most amazing artists in the world covering
Aaron
it.
Neville. Aaron Neville's voice and she's done so many collaborations with people, but it always works out. And
Hmm.
her voice always, yeah. Tiffany O'Donnell. Yes, I Fall to Pieces. I love it. And it was in the '90s, Chris Bevins. It sure was. So, uh, but yeah, I Fall to Pieces. That was. I'm trying to let me see if it was up
Yeah,
here.
when was that?
Mhm. I'm looking right here. I thought I had it up here.
Let me look. I can look
I'm
on.
looking right. Aaron Neville, Trisha Yearwood cover song in 1994.
Oh
And
wow.
they peaked at number 72 on the Billboard charts. Won Grammy award for best country collaboration with vocals.
Oh
So yeah, great
wow.
song. So now number 10, I Fall to Pieces.
Love it.
Let's get to your number 9.
Okay. All right. Number 9 is Georgia Rain. And
Yeah,
that
you
was
are
on,
getting off the same album.
yep, same album.
That's
It was
a great
written
song.
by, I saw Ed Hill, and Catherine, Karen Rochelle. But Ed Hill also wrote one of my favorite songs, It Matters to Me.
Oh
I was like,
yeah.
mm. But I love that. Georgia Rain.
Oh yes. Yes. Go ahead, girl. You want to sing it again?
I don't know the lyrics on top of my head, but I love that song.
Georgia Rain is a great song. Like you said, we'll have to figure up at the end how many come off of what album when we do it because
Yeah.
I've got there's one album that's got a lot of them for me up here. But
Mhm.
Georgia Rain, another Jasper. I'm gonna write it down beside it.
Yeah. It was 2006.
Yeah, yeah. So my number 9 is off her Hearts and Armor album, which
Mhm.
duh, this is going to be the one that I get a lot of them off of. Wrong Side of Memphis.
Oh,
Uh,
I've been living on the wrong side of Memphis.
talk about it, girl. Go on.
This
Wrote,
town.
written by Matraca Berg and Gary Harrison, and John Barry actually did it first on his independent album. But Trisha Yearwood, it was the first
Mhm.
single released off Hearts and Armor. Song tells the story of a woman who lives south of Memphis, Tennessee, and decided to take her chances and move to Nashville, where she can fulfill her dream of becoming a country music singer.
Mm.
Because Nashville is to the northeast of Memphis, the area south of Memphis is considered the wrong side. Are you on the wrong side? Or are you on?
I know, right? Am I in Nashville? I think hopefully I'm on the right side of Nashville, not the wrong side of Nashville.
Yeah, hopefully
But
you're not.
I love that.
I've been living on the wrong side. Oh
Wrong side
gosh,
of
I,
Memphis, really breaking away this
there
town.
you go.
Don't take
I
it
thought I'd
there.
get you started because if I kept on going, that probably people would be off of here in a minute. Yeah, Tiffany O'Donnell is saying, "I'll never understand why Georgia Rain wasn't a number one for her. It's a classic
Mhm.
Trisha Yearwood ballad." So yeah,
I
I
agree.
agree. I agree. But Wrong Side of Memphis, I remember getting that CD. Like I said, once I heard that first song, and we'll be talking about that song a little bit
Mhm.
later. I had to go buy it, and I listened. Back then, And see, I'm a little bit older than you, so you probably didn't come along with. You had every like the Apple stuff and all that. But
Mhm.
when I bought a CD, I listened to the whole CD. You didn't just listen to it just for the hit. You listened
Yeah.
to the whole CD. And going through that Hearts and Armor CD, I was like, I don't know where the bad songs are on here. That was just the start of it. Where's the bad songs? Where's the filler music? But there's not any. So uh,
Yeah. That's a
Jim and Nicole are saying hi, Noel. They're back again. They were here last time. Thank you guys for showing up again.
the Jim and Nicole, you said?
Yeah, Jim and Nicole. So
Hi, Jim.
yeah, thank y'all for coming back again. I know it's not for me because you don't show up in any of my other stuff. But uh so yeah, Wrong Side of Memphis is my number 9.
Love it.
All right. What you got at number 8?
All right, number 8. Do a drum roll. The song Remembers When.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I'll just go ahead and tell you I'll probably be talking about that a little bit later on.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit later on. Oh gosh, let me tell you.
Mm.
The lyrics to that song, and it's like we were talking about with Limbo. Everybody's been in that situation, but the lyrics to this song Remembers When, talking about everybody when they hear a song and it takes them back to a
Yeah.
certain time. When you hear certain songs, I've got, oh gosh, there's so many songs that I hear, and it takes me back to remembering things when I was a kid, or stuff you did when you were a kid. Yeah, but it
Mm-hmm.
hits home really, and this one's a little bit further up on my list, but uh,
Yeah.
oh
It's such
god,
a good song.
her voice on that when she hits, especially near the end when she said, "I guess
Mhm.
something must have happened and we must have said goodbye." And
Yeah.
then when she gets and she goes down at the end of that one song, Remembers When. But oh gosh, when she hits those high notes too,
Mm-hmm.
not
I know. Her
incredible.
range is amazing.
Yes, yes. Song Remembers When. So that's off a different album. You didn't do Jasper County. Wow.
No, yeah, I think, yeah. Well, we'll see.
So my number 8 is off the album Thinking About You. And
That's a
it
good
is
one.
it is the self-titled song Thinking About You.
Oh, I'm just gonna tell you that's a little higher up on
That's a
my
little
list.
higher on your list. I could tell when that. So, written by Tom Shapiro and Bob Reagan,
Mhm.
and released in January 1995. Second single and title track from Thinking About You. It was her third number one country hit in April 1995. Uh, you know, she just like you talk about her range. She can do these ballads. She can do these upbeat numbers, and then there's this mid tempo like this,
Mhm.
and just kills it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm not a, I'm, and I don't know if I said it last time, but I'm a sucker for a ballad. I mean, I could sit here and put ballad, 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 and I would be fine with it. People give me crap about it all the time, but uh, yeah, but Thinking About You is it's not really a ballad. It's more of an upbeat, a little bit
Mhm.
mid tempo. But
Yeah.
yeah, just
Oh,
incredible.
I remember as a little kid, that album for me, and there's on my list, just letting you know, there's a lot from that album. But that album for me, my parents had recently gotten divorced, and like my mom and I had moved into this little apartment, and like we got a boom box or some kind of like CD player thing.
Right.
And I remember we bought and we went to like, because you at that time you'd go and you'd buy CDs, you'd go to the store.
Imagine
And
that.
yeah, and so we got that album and I think somehow or maybe I just used like a hairbrush, but I had like it was like my microphone. I would just run around the house,
Is
sing.
there any video of this stuff with you playing a concert for the dog or playing with the hairbrush? Because I'd love to see some of this stuff.
I think there might be. There's for sure. I have my first time one of the first times I sang, I had like a big solo on stage, was I played Interplanet Janet and Singing in the Rain. And I was, I think, 11 years old, and I'm up there in my outfit singing. I have that. Someone said that to me recently. I'd never seen it before.
See, mine when I was a kid, it was so old. I'm so old that we didn't have, like, everybody couldn't get a video camera back then because they were so expensive. But I actually I did a solo at a Christmas cantata when I was 8.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, and I did. I think I did all right. But they had at the middle of the song, you had to say like a prayer, and I could never get the prayer down right. So the lady told me, all right, at the start of the song, just tell everybody to let us pray. That way they'll put their heads down, and then you can read it right off of it while you're sitting there in the chair. So
I
she
like
was
that.
smart. Hats off to Betty Jean there. She was smart. But yeah. Yeah, I did okay. I didn't have a bad singing voice back then, but then everything started to change, and yeah.
Oh, I'm sure you sound amazing.
I don't know about
Do
that.
you remember what song you sang?
It was called "Come Into My Heart." Yeah,
Oh,
and I actually have the audio of it. Maybe one day I'll actually put it on YouTube so people can hear it. It was pretty cool. I enjoyed it as an 8-year-old, but I was nervous. I can't imagine how you guys do it like that, but and I'm granted I was 8 years old, but still to this day, if I had to get up and do that, I'd be like, it would not be good.
Well, I think the nerves go away. They go away when you get up there, I think.
Well, I'm sure, yeah, after you do it for a while, I'm sure it goes away and you just get in the flow of things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good for you. Yeah, that's my one moment in the sun right there. My 6 seconds of fame. So number 7 for you.
Okay, well, we've already talked about this one. It's from Memphis.
Okay, so we got a repeat.
I've been living on the wrong side of Memphis.
Like we said, you were on the right side of Memphis.
Yeah. I love that song.
Oh yeah, it's a great song. Wrong Side of Memphis off Hearts and Armor.
That was a great album.
Gosh, and that will always be my favorite because I guess she was no coincidence, her and Garth were responsible for me getting back into country music again, and you see where they end up. So number 7 for me. It's a ballad. Surprise, surprise. Down on My Knees.
Oh.
Yes.
Gosh, I haven't heard that in a long time.
Written by Beth Nielsen Chapman, who was a big songwriter back in the day. Hearts and Armor, like I said, it's going to be a lot off that album, but it reached number 19 on the Billboard Hot Country Singles chart. And the narrator, a secure and strong woman, described how she would unabashedly beg on her knees for her lover to stay if he chose to leave her. But she hits some off the wall notes in this. And when she gets, and like I said, just listening to that album for the first time, it stuck with me. When I was going through this list, I was like looking at the Hearts and Armor track list, and I'm like, I can't leave this one off. I can't leave this one off. And then I was like, okay, I can't have 1 through 10 be the whole Hearts and Armor album. But I mean, yeah. It was just a great album, and it stuck with me. I guess it's nostalgia a little bit for me too, but how can you go wrong with Down on My Knees? So number 7 for me is Down on My Knees.
Love it.
All right. Number 6.
6. Okay. On a Bus to St. Cloud.
Oh, wow.
That's on.
I have not heard that.
That one's on Thinking About You.
Okay, I'm gonna have to.
It starts off. It goes, on a bus to St. Cloud, Minnesota. Thought I saw you there.
Okay, just keep on going. We could sit here and listen to this all night.
The snow falling down all around you, like a silent prayer, something like that. Oh, so good. It's so sad.
The reason I knew that Noelle was a Trisha Yearwood fan was before we did the first interview. I was looking at her shorts, and she did How Do I Live? And when I heard that, I was like, okay, this is a girl after my heart right here. She's a Trisha Yearwood girl, and she can sing too. So yeah, great. I'm gonna have to listen to that because I've heard it. I don't remember it.
It's a tearjerker.
It's is it a ballad?
It's a ballad.
Okay, I like it then. So nothing to worry about there.
Oh, and then there's like what are the lyrics? And she talks about like she sees him, she thinks she sees him, and then she thinks she sees him on a busy LA freeway, on the sidewalk in New York City. It's a beautiful.
I think I do remember this song. Why did I not? Yeah, now that you said that does ring a bell. But I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that after we get off here.
Yeah, it's a good one. You'll like it if you like, you like ballads.
I like ballads. So yeah, so number 6 for me, and I think this is off Jasper County, so you'll probably like this. Love Will Always Win.
Oh, that's a beautiful song.
Her and Garth Brooks, and when you sit here and look back at it with Garth, anything, and the more they do together, just like my wife was saying last night. Well, Shallow is great. They do great. They do a great version of Shallow, but I was like, that's not original. I guess. Well, I Fall to Pieces wasn't either, so I guess I could have put it. But Shallow is great.
Mm-hmm.
But this is not the only collaboration song with Garth that's on my list. I'll go ahead and tell you.
I think I know.
Yeah, you probably do. And yeah, they do a great job here. I remember the first time hearing this, and this was because this was after they had been together for a while. And I was like, this kind of fits for one of the other songs they did together. It kind of fits that. It's kind of like telling the end of their story from that first one they did together. And but yeah, just another Jasper County. That if people don't listen to that Jasper County album, that Jasper County album is a highly unrated. It should be underrated album for her. It has got some great songs on there. Because the first time I heard, because I was like, okay, I listened to it and I was like, this has got some great songs on here. But you need to check out Jasper County. So number 6, we're at the top 5 now. Now we're getting down to business.
Down to business. Okay. Is it my turn?
Yes, it's your turn. Okay. Number 5. Number 5.
The big one. How Do I Live?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I will tell you this. That will be talked about in just a few minutes for me too. Yeah. How Do I Live? It started off with Leanne Rimes, and that's always been the big thing. Which version do you like more, Leanne or Trisha? And I'm sorry, Leanne. I'm going with Trisha. And I think it was the story behind it was Leanne had sang the song for that Con Air soundtrack, and she was pretty young at the time, and Disney didn't think that somebody that young should be singing a song like that for that there. So they recruited Trisha Yearwood, and she knocked it out of the park. And no surprise there, but nothing against Leanne's version. It's a good version, but I like Trisha's better.
Yeah, her voice just it lends there's gravity to it.
Yep.
And they're both beautiful, but yeah,
I mean, like I said, Leanne Rimes she's got some incredible voice, but I'm sorry, you can't compete with Trisha Yearwood, in my opinion. So if any Leanne Rimes fans right there are going to chastise me, come on. I'll give you my email. You can tell me all you want to, but you're not going to convince me. Not going to convince me.
Yeah, it's a beautiful song.
Great song, and it really took off with that Con Air movie. Just
and I love that movie. By the way, I
do too. I just watched. As a matter of fact, the other day when I was going through my list, I sat back and watched the video for it when it had all the scenes from the movie in there, and I was like, and music videos make a song so much better. I mean, and that's what I miss about MTV. MTV used to play music videos, believe it or not. And when you heard the song on the radio, great. But when you actually watch the video of them singing, it seemed like it was that much better. And that was like, okay, I got to go out and buy this album now.
Yeah. So, I love that video. It's beautiful.
How Do I Live? So my number 5, and we just talked about a collaboration with Garth, and this one was the first collaboration with Garth, In Another's Eyes.
Oh, I love that song. In
Oh,
another side.
yes. And how fitting was this song that, Grant, they were married at the time to other people. They ended up later on getting divorced, but this was kind of the start of that relationship because you could tell when you watched them sing that together. I remember the first time I was like, that's some real stuff going on there. I
Yeah.
said, nah, it can't be, but I was like, that looks like some real stuff going there. But
When was that
hey,
released?
that was August 1997.
Okay.
And they, by 2001, they had both divorced their respective spouse and they married each other in 2005.
Mhm.
So they won for best country collaboration with vocals that year.
Mm.
Who was it wrote by? Garth Brooks, Bobby Wood, and John Peppard. So it
Mm.
was on sevens for his, but then it ended up on songbook for Trisha Yearwood. But uh, when he said, "What is that line?" In another's eyes, I'm afraid that I won't see this picture perfect portrait that they paint of me.
Mm-hmm.
And wow, it's just that whole song tells a great story.
Yeah.
Tiffany O'Donnell was saying about How Do I Live? She said, I'm with you. I feel like Trisha added more emotion to her version. I remember being mesmerized watching her. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's true. Yeah. She, just
Me
like we
too.
said, nothing against Leanne, but she does more for that song than Leanne does. You don't hardly hear the Leanne's version mentioned anymore. I'm sorry. But in another's eyes, great
Mm.
song. Another collaboration. That's my last collaboration for tonight. So number 5 for me. So
Mm.
number 4.
Okay, we're getting close.
Yep.
She's in love with the boy. Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you, no surprise, that's going to be talked about later too. That was really her first big hit
Mm-hmm.
off her self-titled album.
Yeah, 91.
Yeah, and I just remember hearing. I think I heard that. I had to have heard that after I heard anything off Hearts and Armor because I just I don't know. Did I lose you? We may have lost Noelle because she's frozen right now. Let's wait and see if if she's able to come back. She said she was having some internet troubles earlier, but hopefully that's not the case, and we can get her back in here. Or maybe am I having internet problems? Let's see. Nope, might be hers. All right, so we're going to keep going and just talk a little bit. She'll be back. Yeah, we lost her. Hopefully she'll be back in just a second. Uh, but yeah, thank you guys that are in here right now. I know there's a few of you in here. The ones that have come in for Noelle. Noelle has been she was such a great guest the first time, and and to have her back, it was a no brainer. Here she comes. Here she comes. There we go.
My power went out.
Your power went out. Yeah,
Yeah.
you should have seen. You should have seen the look on your face when you froze. There. I was like, because you were sitting there like this. And at first, I saw when I was talking, I was like, wow, she's really into what I'm talking about. Because you were just sitting like, and then I was like, and then I didn't hear anything in your background. I said, no, she's not really into it. She's just gone. She's froze.
Oh, I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
No,
I was
you're
like,
fine.
all of a sudden, everything went black. And then I said, because I was telling you I had Wi-Fi problems earlier.
Yeah.
And then the power just went out. And now my generator's back. But if I am in and out, I'm hooked up to my hotspot on my phone. So
I got you.
hopefully it
Well,
doesn't go out.
we'll do that. I don't know who this Facebook user is down here. Said, "Hey, Noelle." So whoever you are, let me know because the StreamYard doesn't let me know who you are unless you sign in and give permission. So whoever you are, just let me know. So she's in love with the boy, and like I said, I had to have heard that
Mhm.
after Hearts and Armor. So, uh, oh, it's my daughter. My daughter is Mallory. Mallory is saying
Hi.
hello.
What's your daughter's name?
Her name is Mallory.
Hi,
She
Mallory.
She is a big country music fan. She's a
That's
big fan of the Chicks. She went to see them in
oh,
concert this summer, and she had a great time. But yeah, she just turned 19. Uh, oh, you
oh.
like my
Happy
Brandon?
belated
Brandon, yeah, yeah. She's a mess. She's like I told her. Somebody told her. Oh, she gets told a lot. You look like your daddy. And I said, I'm sorry you've been cursed like that, Mallory, but you'll be okay. And Mallory says she's becoming a big fan of you as well. So got some
Oh, thank
fans
you so
in
much.
Eastern North Carolina. Thank you,
Thank
Brandon and
you.
Deanna. I like your shirt. You like my shirt, my Star Wars shirt. So I was kind of bumming tonight. So number 4 for you
I
was
do. I
she's
like
in
your
love
shirt
with me.
too.
You like your Star Wars fan?
Well, I like Yoda. He's funny.
I like Yoda. Yeah, Yoda's the
Um,
one.
yeah.
Yeah,
I've only
I
seen it a
wouldn't.
few times.
Oh gosh, I'm like I'm not Star Wars geek level, but I mean I'm
Mhm.
a big fan. I went my was it ninth or 10th, whatever my birthday year was when Return of the Jedi came out. My parents had promised to take me Sunday afternoon to see it, and I got sick that morning with a fever, and
Mm.
I went anyway. I was like, not going to it. So that I was determined. Mallory, Revenge of the Sith is the greatest. No, girl, it's not. It's not. That's you got to get into the stuff that your daddy watched when he was a kid. So my number 4, we just talked about with you just a one song ago. The Force is with me, Brandon.
Mhm.
I appreciate it. The Force is with me. So how do I live? Is my number 4. Uh, Yeah, and
Ah.
like we said, that is just her version. We've talked enough about it. Her version is better than Leanne. So sorry, sorry.
It's just you can't get better.
No, no, you can't get better than that. You, I think you broke up a little bit on me there. Or am I losing you?
Am I back?
I hear you a little bit now. I hear you a little bit now.
Okay.
We'll
Am I
get through it.
frozen?
Now you're not. Now you're not. So we'll
Okay.
get through it. Number 3 for you.
Okay. X's and O's.
That was on my list at number 10, and then when I Fall to Pieces came up, I had to take it out. I had to take it out for that. But X's and O's, uh,
Mm-hmm.
kind of a more up tempo song, but still good, still good. So what made you like X's and O's?
I think because I grew up listening to it, and I
Right,
was like, "That's me."
I'm
Um,
American Girl.
yeah.
What is that song?
And
What is that song that Carrie Underwood does? Is that American Girl?
I think American.
I wonder if she.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. You broke up on me on that. I'm unfortunately because I think you were singing then. Uh-oh. I don't hear anything in the background anymore. I think we lost her. Yeah,
no.
hold on. Every once in a while I hear something, so yeah, I think we lost her. So her number 3 was X's and O's. So I'm gonna look up X's and O's.
Am I
There
back?
she goes. Yeah, there she goes. There she goes. So
I am so sorry.
you're fine. No, don't you worry about it. You can't help that. But I was
Technology.
looking up X's and O's, and they said this website, AmericanSongwriter.com, said their favorite lyric was "She's got her God and she's got good wine." Aretha Franklin and Patsy Cline.
I remember being a little kid going, "Yeah, got good wine." Like I can't wait.
Look, we were talking the other day. I was talking to somebody the other day about songs we listened to as kids and how, because like I said, I was a Kiss fan. I am a Kiss fan, and some of their songs were kind of, yeah, a 6-year-old kid or 7-year-old kid does not need to be singing. And I was like, how did my parents not go like, what did you just say? It's like they never did, and I don't have horns going out my head, so I did okay. All right, so number 3 for you, X's and O's. So that was
All
off
right.
thinking about you.
Yeah.
Like you
So
said.
number two, are we on number 2?
Number 3 for me
Oh,
is
sorry.
no, you're fine. It's a repeat. You had it earlier. She's in love with the boy.
So good.
After hearing Hearts and Arm and then going, I think it had to be on CMT that I was watching one day, and I was like, I heard that voice, and I was like, wait a minute, I haven't heard this song before, and it was she's in love with the boy, and she looked different, but I mean that voice is you can sure tell that's Trisha Yearwood, and
Yeah.
and the storytelling there, with the teenage daughter that's um, seeing the boy that of course her daddy doesn't like, and
Uh-huh.
then the mama says, well, guess what, my daddy didn't like you either, and we turned out pretty good. So
Yeah. I remember that. I love the storytelling in that song. It's like, yeah, well, you were worse than
you were
him.
him, you were him or worse, yeah.
Yeah.
So guess
He
what.
turned out all right.
Yeah, we turned out pretty good. We got, so yeah, that's always stuck with me there. And that's been a big part of why I like that song.
Yeah.
And like I said, that could have been number 2 easy, but uh, like we'll get to my number 2 in just a minute.
Mhm.
What's your number 2?
Well, you mentioned it earlier, and it is Thinking About You.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
I love that song so much. Not quite sure what's going on. All day through and all night long, I've been thinking about you.
I
So
need to
good.
bring you on every top 10 list I do, so you can just sing the songs after we do them. So, yes,
I my pleasure.
oh yeah, definitely. Anytime you want to, you tell me, girl. We'll put you up here. Thinking about you, yeah, that's just a great song. Um, and off that Thinking About You album, how many?
Mhm.
Yeah, you really one, two,
Yeah.
three off that album so far, and we haven't got to number 1 yet. But I think I know what your number 1 is.
I think I know what your
Uh,
number 1 is.
So my number 2, we got a lot of repeats, so we got about the same taste in Trisha
Mhm.
Yearwood music. You talked about it earlier, and I think the fact that the lyrics talk about, like we said earlier, the lyrics talk about how a song can trigger a memory, and the song
Mhm.
remembers when. My
Mm.
number 2, but there's still, and people will tell me that I went to school with, how do you remember all this stuff? And I'm like, I don't have a clue, but I've got more useless information in my head than a little bit. But songs bring back a lot of
Mhm.
memories for me. I've
Mhm.
got a lot of my best memories attached to songs, and that's the
Well,
first.
they make you feel things, and they take
Yeah,
you back to a place and time, and whenever you heard that song, it takes you back to, "Oh my gosh, I was on the football field, and I I wanted to, this happened," and I just
yep.
remember that. I remember what I was looking at or who I was talking to when I first heard that song, and that's the
And what
magic
a
of music.
what a great idea to write a song about how a song triggers a memory, though. Who did
Mhm.
write that song? Let's see.
Uh, looks like
Hugh Presswood.
Presswood,
Yeah, and
1993.
that had Kathy Mateo originally recorded it, and it was dropped for from her album in the final stage of production. What a mistake there! Uh,
Wow.
and that it could have been, it just didn't fit her. Let's see if it's charted anywhere. Listen to this lyric now. Still, I guess some things we bury are just bound to rise again. For even if the whole world has forgotten, the song remembers again. Holy moly!
Wow. Yeah.
That guy, yeah, great job, Hugh Presswood. You hit the nail on the head right there. So here we go.
I think we have the same number one.
I think if we don't, I'm gonna be shocked. Don't have the same number one. I will be, and I'll probably fall out of this chair if we don't have the same number one. So I'm gonna leave it up to you. You can do your drum roll and everything you want to do.
Drum roll.
I'm writing it down right now. I'm just starting to write it down right now. And if I'm wrong, I'll just have to.
Well, my number one, my favorite Trisha Yearwood song of all time is Walk Away Joe.
Yes.
Did you get it too?
Number one. It's what started the whole Trisha Yearwood thing for me. Hearing that voice the first time, and then not only hers, but Don Henley, because I was just starting to get into the Eagles. As a kid, I was like the Kiss fan. The Eagles were like these guys who were wearing flannel on stage, or they had beards and all this. I was like, oh, no. After they did Hell Freezes Over and I caught a glimpse of that, I was like, oh, gosh, these guys are great. And then watching CMT and seeing that video, and I was like,
Matthew McConaughey that's
yes. Yeah. You know what? I was today years old when I found out they had Matthew McConaughey was that guy in that video. I didn't know it till today.
Really?
Yes. I was like, funny? What the heck? How did I not know that? Because I watched it tonight. I actually, about the last hour, I've just been going through old videos, and then I said, let me watch Walk Away Joe. And then I got to looking at the Wikipedia page, and I was like, and it was Matthew McConaughey. I was like, oh my gosh, how did I not know this? And then it went to a commercial, one of those ads after it played Walk Away Joe. Guess who was in the ad? Matthew McConaughey. So yeah, it's just been a Matthew McConaughey night over here. But yeah, just their voices together. And I mean, yeah, she works well with Garth. But their voices together on that song, like I said, I'm a sucker for harmonies. And oh my gosh, I have listened to that song many times. And there is times in the car riding down the road when that comes on, and I'll try to do the Don Henley harmony on there. That one, there's two songs that I think I've got the harmonies down on pretty good. That one, and you remember More Than Words by Extreme?
Yeah.
If the harmonies in that, I've got that down pretty well, I think. Because me and my daughter we were driving the other day, it came on, and she took the high parts, I took the harmonies. I think we did pretty good too. We give Extreme a run for their money. But how can you not love Walk Away Joe? And the story it tells about the girl leaving home at 17, and her mom's telling her, you won't get far. This guy's trouble. And sure enough, she gets down the road a little ways with him. He robs a gas station under the Texaco store. Yeah. And he ends up leaving her stranded on the road. She comes back home. I mean, just a great story. I'm not going to. There's a lot of people up here from it. Somebody wants me to sing Walk Away Joe. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do Walk Away Joe that bad right here. Bubba Rosenbaum, a friend of mine from another podcast, an ECU Sport podcast. I remember having that song, Walk Away Joe, on repeat my sophomore year of college. Yeah. I played that song so many times. But, Walk Away Joe. And I been so disappointed if that hadn't been your number one. I'm so glad. Number one.
It's my favorite. I mean, I just love everything you just said. I echo all of that. It was just such a beautiful story, and it's so relative. And it's a perfect
wrong
song.
Guy. Girls falling for the wrong guy and having to learn the hard way. Yeah. Guys,
the story all this time.
Guys never fall for the wrong girl. I could write a book on that from my teenage years. Um, so yeah, that let's go back over this and we'll see how many repeats we got up here first. So
Yeah.
song remembers when, that's one. Wrong side of Memphis is two. How do I
Mhm.
live? Three. She's in love with the boys. Four. Thinking about you's five. So we had six repeats, counting Walk Away Joe.
Mhm.
Um, your top 10 was Who Invented the Wheel at 10, Georgia Rain at number 9, The Song Remembers When at 8, Wrong Side of Memphis at 7, On a Bus to St. Cloud at 6, How Do I Live at 5, She's in Love with the Boy at 4, X's and O's at 3, Thinking About You at 2, and Walk Away Joe at 1. Then I had I Fall to Pieces at 10, Wrong Side of Memphis at 9, Thinking About You at 8, Down on My Knees at 7,
Mhm.
Love Will Always Win at 6, and another's eyes at 5. How do I live at 4? She's in love with the boy at 3. The song remembers when at 2, and Walk Away Joe at 1. So when I
Mhm.
put this on social media, I don't know how people are going to really vote because there's not much difference there. We
Yeah.
pretty much, I think there's 4 songs different. So, but we'll put it out there and see what happens. We'll put a poll up on Twitter and see what happens, and
I
I'll
love
tag
it.
in it. I'm sure all of the Noelle fans will side with her. Of course, I can't blame you guys. Don't worry about it. I won't get too upset. So let's talk about you. Anything new you can talk about up here? Anything going on? I know you said you were recording Monday.
Yeah, I have several new songs I'm in the studio recording, but I'm also about to release my debut EP,
Oh
which
wow.
has my 3 singles on it, but also includes a cover of a Patsy Cline song called Poor Man's Roses.
Okay.
So that will be released very soon, probably within the next month or so. And I'm very excited for that. It's the first time I've released a collection of music, and I'm very proud of it, and I'm excited for people to hear.
Well,
So
we will definitely be keeping our ears open for that, and we will be pushing that as well. Um, I'm looking at your website right now. You guys can check her out at noelletoland.com. You can find her on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube channel. Watch the Limbo video. I promise you will love it. The song is great. The video is even better. Uh, you guys check her out, and like I said, keep your ears open for this lady. She is, like I said, we got at least 3 more times. We got to have you back on. We got to come up with something so we can get you in the 5 Timers Club.
I
But
need to watch that skit. I haven't seen that skit yet.
oh my gosh, I think it'll be SNL Tom Hanks 5 Timers because it's like
Okay.
I think it's like the opening monologue, and it may be another host that came on there, and then they have a bunch of these people that have been on there several times, and they've got like Steve Martin, and they've got
Mhm.
jackets on, like their 5 Timer Club jackets and all this stuff. It's pretty funny. I'm a Saturday Night Live geek. I love Saturday Night Live. Well, I used to. It hadn't been funny real here lately,
Yeah.
but
I mean,
back
I
when they
like in a van down by
down
the
by the river, Matt Farley, Chris Farley, when they had, I think to me, and everybody likes the originals, I know, but when they had Adam Sandler, Chris Farley,
Mhm.
David Spade, Chris Rock, uh, Phil Hartman,
Mhm.
Nor Dunn, all of that group there was probably my favorite group. Mike Myers, when they did,
Oh,
we used to stay up and wait. We were disappointed if Wayne's World didn't come on Saturday Night Live sometime, but yeah, we used to stay up just to watch that, and I was like, it's not going to come on tonight, but. That's another subject. Saturday Night Live is another thing I could talk a while about because I watch all the clips on YouTube just to uh, go back and, like I said, that brings back memories too. But
yeah. I studied groundlings when I was in
oh
LA.
yeah, really?
Yeah, and so I love improv and watching improv, and
I don't know how they do it. I couldn't do it.
it's a skill.
Yeah,
Anybody can do it and get better at, but it's you have to work on it, and there's what I loved about Groundlings was you kind of just, it's like you kind of feel like you're in kindergarten, and it's like, okay, and the whole rule is yes and, which is fun. You just got to go build, and it's very exciting because you're just up there and you're like, you have no idea what's going to happen next. And you're up there with a person, or either your one scene partner or two or three, and the stuff that comes up is just, it's wild.
Sure. Speaking of improv, did you ever watch that show Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yeah, it's kind of similar to that.
Ryan Stiles he's hilarious. I could watch him all night. I sat one night on YouTube. It was after we got the internet and I had it on the TV. I was like, I'm gonna really, and I sat there and watched an hour-long YouTube thing on Ryan Stiles. It was like bloopers on Whose Line Is It Anyway, and I was laughing my butt off. I love him. Yeah, stuff like that I love, but I could never. I have ultimate respect. Okay, songwriters and improv people, if they whatever they do, that I've got the utmost respect for them.
Yeah, it's a wild thing. It's literally like, you don't know what you're doing. Yeah, you just get up there and then they say, okay, you and him, let's say there's two. I get up with a guy, and I'm like, okay, you're the pilot, you're the co-pilot, you're flying a plane, go. It's like, you don't know anything about, but the funniest stuff is when the people that are up there don't know anything about what they're talking about.
Exactly.
Like, oh, that little cloud over there looks like a great piece of cloud. It's just the stuff you don't.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I love watching this stuff. But guess who just popped in on us right here? About time she made an appearance in here. Nicole Zeller just pops in. Said, we just went to see Whose Line Is It live in Nashville a few weeks ago. Ryan Stiles was there too. All originals. It was so good. Him and Colin together was so great. Nicole, I have to tell you while you're in here, thank you so much for what you've done for me as far as getting these people on here, especially Noelle. Like I said, she's like everybody's favorite up here. So she made an appearance on YouTube with your boyfriend was this at Whose Line? Okay, maybe I'll need to go check this out. Yes, thank you so much. This is such a sweet lady. She's worked with me. When she got the email from me, I know she was like, well, who is this? What is this and I know you probably said like that, my last name, you probably said on the flight. I know you probably said it. Everybody does. But yeah, she is
Noel all the time. So I feel your pain.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you so much, Nicole, and looking forward to working with all these people that you have at Brickshore Media. Like I said, no, Jim commented on YouTube, so we were watching there too. Okay.
Jim and Nicole, that third.
Oh, that I didn't. Didn't put it together. Yeah. I'm sorry, Nicole. Didn't put
Jim's
that together.
Awesome, and Nicole is. I adore
she is such a sweet. She has helped me a lot, and she's done more than just setting up the interviews for me. She has helped me with some graphics and stuff like that, because I know little old me over here, don't have a budget for this show, so she helps me out a lot, and I appreciate it. And she's been very kind, and I don't want to make that head swell up so much, but thank you so much. I really appreciate all the help you've given me in this last month or so, and looking forward to working with you guys a lot. But and I'll have to get to Nashville to see you guys sometime if I can. Yeah. But yeah, so keep your eyes and ears open, guys, for Noelle. And we're gonna have some more. We'll have some more Brickshore Media artists coming starting next week. As a matter of fact, we'll have some more coming on. So you guys be ready. And like I said, Noelle is going to be up here at least 3 more times. So we can get on the 5 Timers Club. But thank you so much, Noelle.
Thank you for having me.
Nothing but the best. And like I said, we'll see who wins on this social media, who gets the most votes for our list. And I know it's going to be you. Well,
thank you so much for having me. It was so much fun.
Yes, it always is. Both times we've had a blast. It's like having a sister I never had. So All right, guys. You guys have a great night, and we'll see you next week on the fly.